Alright everybody, welcome back to PodCraft, the show where we talk about and make light of real-world events and topics while playing Minecraft.
A revolutionary idea indeed.
Honest to God, honestly. Like, we should get a medal.
Dude, we're saving the world, honestly.
I know. One block at a time.
Wow, good one.
Okay, since we last left off, we decided to go and find a nether fortress because it was a grueling task, and we decided that...
it was really far away.
Yeah, we don't have enough recording space.
Yep.
But yeah, we found one, and that's about it. I also made an iron axe, and we're almost out of food again.
Dude, good for you. Oh, you're right, we totally are. This is a bad idea, maybe.
Uh-huh, let's do it.
Alright, hell yeah.
Alright, so today's topic, we thought, was we were going to talk about our personal experiences in the world of psychology.
Yes. It's a very interesting topic. We figured it was topical because it's sort of just always topical, because mental health is always important, and it's always an important thing to talk about.
Yeah. So with that being said, Ryan, do you want to kick us off with your experience in the world of psychological warfare? I mean, education.
It's both. You can say warfare.
Okay.
It's
Where are
both.
you?
I'm just in the. I'm in the fortress. I built
Yeah,
up.
no shit. There are several directions to go in the fortress.
I don't know. Just divide and conquer, man.
Okay.
Yo, I got a saddle. We can get a.
And diamonds.
And I got diamonds. Yeah.
All right. Kick us off, Ryan.
I was just so excited that we can ride a strider now. Okay, so to start off, I also got obsidian. Dude, we're making so much progress.
Progress, bro.
Epic progress, bro. So to start off, I think it's important to say, like, I'm by no means, I'm gonna burn to death. No, we're good.
Good for you.
I'm by no means an expert. I am a student majoring in psychology, actually, in college right now. But that doesn't mean that I know everything by any means, and it doesn't mean that, like, I should be your only source of information or something. Like, if you think that you're...
This is all subjective.
Exactly, and if you think that you're, struggling with something, first of all, like, that's okay. A lot of people are, and you're not alone. And I think that it would be really helpful for you, as it was for me, to potentially talk to somebody, even if you don't want to try to find a therapist right away. That can honestly be kind of a big, scary task in and of itself. Even just a close friend or a parent or a family member or somebody that you can really trust. Sometimes, parents aren't necessarily the best options because they have their own ways of thinking about you as their child, and they might just not really understand having, like, mental health issues. I already went down this hallway. But they, it's all subjective. It's all up to you. But getting help is good, and, like, okay, like, you're not crazy. So my own personal experiences, I was diagnosed with major depressive disorder and generalized anxiety disorder in 2017, I believe. And I think you already went this way.
I have no idea where I'm going.
There's traces of you, so let's go this way.
Can you tell by the general air of epicness?
There's Griffin trails.
Okay.
So at the time, I was in a serious relationship with a girl. Let's just call... People that know me will know who I'm talking about, but let's just call her, like, Roxy. That's okay. And it was really not a great relationship. To an extent on both sides. I don't think that I was the best boyfriend necessarily, but I was also 16 and she was 21 at the time. And there was a lot of emotional abuse and mental abuse, not really any physical. But that's pretty common with relationships like the one that I had. And so that was a a rough time in my life, and I didn't understand what I was feeling, and I didn't understand what she was doing to me was bad, and that I deserved better. But one thing that she did was that she was very avidly supportive of getting help for mental health. One of the few good parts of our relationship. But so I essentially what I was feeling. I like to describe it sort of like you wake up and I keep walking in circles here.
Yeah, me too.
I like to describe it like you wake up and it's like there's this like dude that's just like sitting on you, and he's like a big guy. Like, I don't want to say fat, but like
he's a fat guy.
He's a chungus. And he's just sitting like on your chest, and you're like, bro, what are you doing? Why are you here? And he's like, well, you see, I just came here to explain to you in great detail how much you suck. And you're like, why? Why? And he goes, because. And then he goes on to explain, I might wither to death. He goes on to explain to you in great detail why you suck. And you don't know why he's doing it, but you can't really get him to stop. He just kind of, he does what he wants. Do you have any extra food, by the way?
3 pork.
I have 0.
I don't even know where you are.
And if I get hit once, I'm dead. And there's a wither skeleton chasing me. Okay, we're good. I survived. I'm at 1 heart. I have nothing to eat. This was not a smart. This was not a smart plan. I think. Oh, that's a lot of blazes. I'm gonna get out of there. So anyway, back to the analogy. And so the thing is, like, you can't control it. It's like a different guy. You know, he does what he wants, and apparently for whatever reason, he just really wants to tell you how much you suck. And you know, you ignore it for a while because, you know, who cares about some like sweaty fat dude sitting on you? Who cares what he thinks? But like, it just keeps going on and on and on, and eventually, you know, it starts to get to you, as anything does. It's like when I was younger and I really wanted to go somewhere on vacation, or I really wanted a specific present for Christmas, and they were like, no, you can't get that. Like, you know, I would nag and nag. Oh, where are you? What are your coordinates? Put them in the chat. You would nag and, or I would nag, sorry. And eventually, more often than not, because, as I mentioned in the first episode, I was pretty spoiled and sheltered child. I usually got what I want. And that's kind of how it works with depression. Like, you eventually sort of start to listen to him, and you don't know why, and you don't understand why he's doing what he's doing, but he is, and you can't stop him, and you can't really stop yourself from believing him at a certain point. And you know that it's not realistic. Often, sometimes you don't, but more often than not, you know, you're aware that it's not realistic, that what he's saying, like, probably isn't true, but you just can't help but take it to heart because you've been hearing it for so long.
Did you get my coordinates?
Oh, yes, I did. I forgot. So yeah, anyway. So that's how I like to explain it. It's the thing that a lot of people don't understand is that depression is not an emotion. It's not just feeling sad. It's it is, technically speaking, a disorder. It is, I'm going to use a word that some people may get hurt by, but I'm going to explain why I use it immediately after. But it is an insanity. It's your mind is not functioning normally. It's not supposed to be this way. It's not that you're just sad. It's not something that you can just get over. And that's why people go to therapy for it. There are medications for it. And there are people that can help. And that's why it's okay to get help. Because it's not something that you can just take on by yourself. So if you think that you might be struggling from depression and even anxiety is similar, but not exactly the same. We can go into that too. But if you think you're struggling from anything, just please take it from me, your best friend. Maybe you know me in real life, or maybe you are listening to this.
I'm burned to death.
Series.
Oh my god, I have art.
My man, hell yeah. Maybe you're just listening to the series for the first time, but just know that I care about you, whoever you are, wherever you are, and you deserve help. So don't be afraid to get it. So anyway, Griffin, I'm going to let you talk for a second so that I can actually focus on getting to you, because I've just been wandering around.
In a little dilemma here. There's a food. Is good?
Do you have any extra food, by the way?
No, I'm completely out of food.
Alright, we might need to go back then.
Let's go back. I have the coordinates marked. Okay,
sick.
So my personal...
How many blaze rods do you have, by the way?
4.
Okay, that should be alright for now.
I have 1 heart and no food.
Same. Let's carefully make our way home.
By that you mean sprint, right? Yes.
I don't have enough hunger to sprint. I will be very slowly making my way home.
What?
Uh-oh. Did you fall from like 3 blocks?
No, you're gonna see my perspective.
Okay,
1 block gap in the floor that led to just a gigantic drop. Half of my stuff is in lava. I am not gonna be able to find it.
That is very unfortunate.
Alright, new strategy. Let's not be in the nether right now.
I like that idea.
Okay. Because it's not going well. Okay. Anyway, my personal experience with psychology is... so, I guess first I should say I've never been diagnosed with any mental disorder personally. I have had periods in my life, I mean, a lot of students do, where I've felt depressed and very anxious, but I can attribute my experience with that to mostly just the stresses of school and you know, the struggles with becoming a young adult in general. I did have, I mean, one experience with the not ideal relationship, but I mean that I was really young, so part of me almost hesitates to even have that count for much. Which that's not to say, like, if something happens when you're young that it doesn't matter.
Right.
It's just like, you know, when you're in middle school and you are in a relationship with someone who's not that great, like, you can recover from it.
Yeah.
You know,
it's just a different.
Like,
it's a different dynamic.
It's different. You know, it is. Like, it still sucks. It can still definitely suck. But like, you have, you know, your entire life to recover from it. And currently, I'm in a fantastic relationship with pretty great lady.
She's pretty cool.
Who
I've
was
met her.
probably the first view on this video.
And maybe the only view.
Maybe. That might be the case. But my mental health stuff, it's been, I can attribute it to just the normal stresses of the developing mind and life and everything. It's just stuff happens.
Sure.
That's how mine is. My monologue here is pretty much going to be about psychology as an academic. So my original major was going to be psychology, but then I realized that I'm really only interested in one aspect, and that is the abnormal.
I mean, that's the best part, right?
It is, but like it's the only part that actually like interests me at all. And by the abnormal, I mean like severe cases of depression and schizophrenia. Schizophrenia is incredibly interesting in my opinion.
It really is.
And like bipolar disorder and all that type of stuff. I just find it like, that's not to say like if you just have the schizophrenias or the bipolars that like I just find you interesting. I don't know, whatever. I'm not going to correct myself.
He wants to study you.
Yes, you're my lab rat. No, it just
This is the part of the episode where we pretend like we're assholes and we make fun of stuff. But don't worry, we're actually not. Well, okay, Griffin is, but I'm
Okay,
actually not.
yeah,
I mean, I am too actually. but,
Okay, no,
like,
it's
not
fine.
not as much, not as bad.
They get it.
Okay.
Shut the fuck up, Ryan.
I'm sorry.
I just find it super interesting. So I took I've taken 3 psychology classes in my 2 years. So I've spent 3 semesters doing psychology, and I took intro to psych, of course, abnormal psychology, and psychology of death and dying. And my favorite of those classes, obviously, was abnormal psychology. And I just found it really, really, like, almost sickeningly cool to learn about a lot of this stuff. Like, jeez, why is it always nighttime when we're above ground?
I don't know, man. Maybe we should find some sheep and sleep it off.
Yeah.
Might not be the worst possible plan. Hello, Mr. Piglet. How are you doing? Want a hug?
Why are you back in the nether?
I'm not, actually. He's in the overworld.
Oh.
Yeah, so the nether didn't go too well for us.
No, we will need to do that thing
We're just gonna
again.
stack up and
It's fine.
we'll return to it. Hi.
But so one of my favorite subjects to study, and actually this just kind of coincided with some stuff. A family or someone I know was going through some severe mental stuff while I was learning about this. So it was like morbidly interesting to like, it was like side by side, like.
Well, it's always more interesting when it's applicable to your own life.
Yeah, I know.
I totally get that.
It's whatever. Yeah. Fuck. It's hard to play and talk at the same time.
Weird.
Especially when you're just getting attacked by everything that fucking moves.
It's really hard. Like if you've ever watched like Minecraft YouTubers and they like make a mistake or something, you're like, God, what an idiot! Like I can't believe they just did that. It's really hard. It's really hard to talk and play at the same time.
It's really hard.
I've never understood.
It's hard to think and play, because I talk and play all the time. It's hard to think and play.
That's true. That's true.
I found schizophrenia especially very, very interesting, and actually my project for the end of that class had to do with schizophrenia.
Totally.
And just the whole world of mental disorders, I take a more academic look at.
Totally.
Because obviously, I've had a lot of people in my life who have been touched by various disorders, from depression to anxiety to, eating disorders to, just a lot. I have a family member who's a distant family member who's bipolar. And it's just, it's so interesting for me to learn about all that stuff and how these disorders develop and how they affect people's lives and everything. Dude, epic friend, bro.
I got a puppy. I got a little pup.
Nice.
I love him.
Yep. Fuck, skeleton.
I got a second pup. Wait, can I get a third? Nope. I only had 3 bones.
So yeah, so I've actually gotten permission to talk about some of the this one example in public from 2 people who I actually know who have schizophrenia.
Ooh.
I don't know them from college, and they talk about how their first experiences with it were like, people. It would sound like people were talking to them, but they'd be like alone, and they just get like freaked the fuck out. I'd probably get freaked out if some dude who sounded like Odin just started talking in my head. That's a real example, by the way.
That's understandable.
But God, it's so cool for me. I don't even have the words. I just take a very academic approach to that kind of stuff, and it's
I 100% feel you though.
fuck.
Good work.
It's fine. I was at a heart and a half.
We're really doing well this episode.
Oh God, no.
Welcome to the episode where we reset all of our progress and
Ryan,
also.
you just want to trash this episode and start over?
No, I think we've made some good points. I like the conversation that we've had.
Okay.
We're no cheaters. We're no cheater pumpkin eaters. We'll just start again from the bottom. Anyway, continue your conversation about schizophrenia.
And some of their experiences with like going and getting the diagnosis, and then even like it's interesting how people like they feel this like paranoid schizophrenia is actually one of the most common types of schizophrenia, where the auditory and visual hallucinations are accompanied by a sense of dread. People are out to get you. Like, maybe if you're just really stressed out from school, maybe the paranoia you have is that your professor is very specifically is trying to make you fail for some reason because they hate you. Or maybe one of your best friends that you've known for a long time is actually secretly out to kill you. And those are they seem like extreme examples, but it's stuff like that comes with like paranoid disorders, or disorders that cause paranoia. It's just it's so cool for me to learn about, and like it's not cool obviously, like if you have one of these problems, like it sucks, and like I'm sorry.
It sucks to have, but it's interesting to learn about. You're
right.
Really not
I'm
doing
not.
well.
I can't not talk and play. I need to work on that.
I can take over for a bit if you'd like. I'm just getting some food now.
I just need to.
But you were having a really interesting conversation that I don't want to interrupt. I mean.
There we go. I did it. Jesus.
Hey, look, it's some bees.
Some bees.
Y'all like jazz? Get it? Cause
See movie. This is cancer. Fuck that movie, dude.
Yo, I haven't watched that movie in like 10 years. When did it come out? Has it even been 10 years? It has to have been.
Probably.
Probably been like 20.
No.
No, it definitely has.
It did not come out in 2000.
That's true.
No, but it's just really interesting to learn about this sort of thing. I just love it.
I feel the same way.
So then when my original interest in psychology, and I'm no longer majoring in psychology because I realized I was only interested in that one thing. But my original interest was counseling psychology.
Totally.
And like, but like I only wanted to like do counseling for like specific cases of weird illness. I really wanted to study, you know, like study mental illnesses and stuff. But that didn't seem like something that was, quite frankly, it didn't seem something that was viable for me in the lifestyle that I wanted and everything. So I decided not to go that route. But
understandable.
Yeah, the study of psychology to me is one of the most interesting and you know, important things that, you know, can be studied today.
Yeah.
And I've noticed actually that there are a lot of people who are now, like in our generation, who are you know, going into psychology and wanting to learn about this stuff because you know, the millennial and the Gen Z generation are really the ones putting a big you know, they're making a point of you know,
making it an important topic of conversation.
Yeah, making mental health like something that needs to be worked on.
Yes, I agree.
You know, so
we're definitely the most like just mentally conscious generation
there we go.
that has ever existed, really.
Yeah. So I don't know. But it's also interesting because, you know, we talk about causes of mental health, and this is actually where I've been trying to get to this entire time I've been talking.
Yes.
And a lot of, or not a lot of, but like there are some ideas that suggest that just from like an evolutionary standpoint, like we've gotten to this point where mental health is such a huge issue, and not like necessarily because, like let's take depression as an example. Like depression rates have skyrocketed in the last 100 years.
Yes.
Right? And there, you know, one of the ideas behind that is that, like, what was it? Pavlov's hierarchy of needs. Pavlov? That's not Pavlov's is the dogs, right?
Pavlov is the dogs. Yeah. Who is that guy? Oh, I should know this. All of my professors would be so upset at me.
The hierarchy of needs.
Let me Google this. This is gonna. You're googling it. I promise we've studied this. Maslow, that's right.
So Maslow's hierarchy of needs is a pyramid diagram that suggests that, you know, there are certain needs that need to be met for humanity to survive for each individual, and those needs obviously come in like great like levels of necessity, right?
Sure, the different levels are more or less important.
Right.
Or like necessary.
So the first level is like, you know, physical safety. You know, like you need to find somewhere or a situation in which you feel physically safe. Like you won't get eaten or murdered or something.
Or beat up. Oh man, I found some. I found a village, by the way, if you're interested. And I found some hay bales, but I don't have a hoe to mine them with.
Oh no, you can use your fists like old Minecraft. How terrible.
This is ridiculous. I'll send the coordinates in the chat.
But some research suggests that as we urbanize, oh shit, I actually think I see it. You know, as we urbanize, and as we, you know, advance in society, more and more people are quite frankly, they're safe. You know, they're safe physically from the needs of like we're not going to get eaten while we're in our cities. We're not going to get
right.
Well, like obviously there's cannibalist. But
But in the majority
in general,
society,
as a society, we're safe from the elements.
right.
So the idea suggests that because, as a society, we're now safe from the elements, our hierarchy of needs, we've moved to the level where we need mental safety. You know?
That's very interesting.
And this also brings in the discussion of purpose. And people feel secure mentally when they know what their purpose is
That's such a good point.
in life. So if you don't know your purpose, then what's the point? You know, so you start to wonder, like, what's the point? And you...
Hey, I have a gift for you.
Oh. Wow! I need a sword. You have stone for a sword?
Yes.
Thank you. I have nothing. Or iron, because you took all of the iron?
Yeah, I have some in a chest, in the village somewhere. There's one house I put oak planks on either side of the stairs, and that's
Whatever,
the one with my
it's
stuff.
not important.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, at least we can sleep this night off, so we don't have to be...
We should just set up base in this village for a while.
Honestly, I'm actually really into that idea. Considering we've seen how
competent we are.
yeah, exactly.
There's
how
a
high
reason our
skill
channel
level is.
banner is us being tied up.
Yeah. I enjoy
Yeah,
putting that
but then that idea of just like, you know, if you don't have a purpose, because all of us we live the same mundane lives for the most part. We wake up, we go to work, we go to school, we come home, eat dinner, family time, go to bed. And while that is not like that's a good life, it's not very purposeful.
Totally.
You know, like, and a lot of people, I feel like more and more
I
people
found a huge house.
are just wishing that they had, you know, more out of life. And what that can lead to, that sense of purposelessness and, you know, almost uselessness and mundane repetition, can lead to disorders like depression and anxiety and stress and all that sort of stuff. You know, and especially with let's have the homosexuality conversation, because I mean
Really quick, can I just interrupt?
Yeah.
The fact that we have to say, let's have the homosexuality conversation, just in and of itself should give you an idea of how our society looks at homosexuality and people that are just slightly different than us.
Yeah. So that goes back to the heuristics comment I made from last episode.
Exactly.
But let's look at homosexuality from a modern standpoint versus you know, ancient, I suppose you could say.
Yes.
In today's society, homosexuality is less and less so, but generally viewed as something to shove aside and be like, let's just put that back in the corner.
Something to be ashamed of.
Yeah, something to be ashamed of.
Right.
And once again, that's lessening, which is very, very good
awesome.
thing. It is awesome. It's a very, very good thing. You know,
Fuck
you
yeah.
should be who you are. But
Pride
if
month,
you look
we're getting
at
to the end,
even like
but-
what?
Pride Month.
Yeah,
It's right now.
yeah.
I don't know if this will be uploaded in June still, but we're recording it in June.
June 29th. So probably not,
Yeah.
unless you upload it tomorrow.
That's not happening.
No.
Alright, anyway, continue. My apologies.
But you know when you face, you know, situations and social norms that don't prioritize acceptance, you often find that issue, like people feel like they can't speak out, so you know it all gets pent up and it can cause a lot of stress and anxiety and depression because people feel like they can't be who they are.
Right.
Because what's happening is, and I'll use this again, and this is the theory I subscribe to, is that
Just like you should subscribe to our channel.
yeah, shameless plug.
Sorry.
Shameful.
I'm sorry. Continue.
Yeah, fuck you, Ryan.
I'm sorry.
No, but as people are becoming more and more comfortable, the way I've seen human history, because I really enjoy learning about history, is that humanity needs something to fight, always.
Sure.
And whether that be like if you take the Crusades as an example, the Christian extremist population decides let's kill everybody else or convert them, or what's going on right now with terrorist organizations in the Middle East saying let's, and very very extreme cases where people just believe that anybody who isn't like us deserves to die.
Right.
They're like anybody who doesn't subscribe to this very, very hateful and specific subsection of the Muslim belief system should die.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like it all comes from we need something or someone to fight.
Totally. I think that's just an aspect of humanity that has always been around and always will be, like...
Yeah. Our aggression is...
innate.
Intense.
Yeah.
And innate.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to... I digress.
Yes.
That... The way things like homosexuality are looked at now are very different than how they used to be looked at. Like if you take, and I actually read up on this a little while ago, the way that the Native American Indians used to view homosexuality is actually they would see people who were homosexual as having two souls.
Oh, interesting.
And it was celebrated, actually. And if you were homosexual, you had two souls, and you'd meet someone else with two souls, and you could become a married pair. And
That's
it was
so interesting.
Yeah, once again, it was specifically it was celebrated.
Sure.
And then in the world today, you see a lot of like the word gay is thrown around as an insult.
Right.
And things like that. And once again, it's something to be ashamed of. But yeah, so basically the theory that I subscribe to is that because we don't no longer need to worry about our physical safety, everyone, and the focus is now on mental health.
Hey, I have another present for you.
Oh, you do? Oh, sweet. Yeah, the focus is now on mental health.
Also, this is our house.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Except this bitch, fuck you, and fuck you!
Are you...
These guys both latched onto our smokers.
Yeah, I know. It's fine.
We should kill them. Actually, that's a bad idea because there's an iron golem.
Yeah. Come on, we've made enough mistakes already on this playthrough.
We need a death counter.
Yeah. Should we...
No.
Comment down below if you think we should make a death counter.
Yes, we're gonna get all one comments. Emily, comment down below if you think
Yeah,
we should
Griffin's
make
girlfriend.
it.
Comment down below. And maybe my sister.
Yeah.
Or brother.
And maybe Kai. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Kai.
Hi, Kai.
Fucking nerd.
Dork.
Are you watching Minecraft Let's Plays on YouTube?
I love Kai, but you're a loser. But I love you.
You both do.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
he's alright.
Fuck you.
What are we talking about again?
I believe we were talking about
loving everybody
thy neighbor
unconditional.
and stopping abuse.
Yes. Oh, I should have saved. I should have saved some of my raw meat for my wolves. Whoopsies.
I have raw meat.
Do you want to feed them?
You can do it.
Sure. That'd be wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, but yeah, the shift has the focus has shifted to mental health, and obviously even though that shift to mental safety has shifted, also the focus of superiority, because another human trait is wanting to be dominant, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And wanting to be the best and above everybody else and everything else and yada yada yada. Yay, humans, we're gonna a fucking planet in 2024.
Oh yeah!
Next election year!
I'm so hyped.
Already. But you know, now the attacks from people who are extreme, like white supremacists and, you know, religious extreme groups, are a lot of them are mental, and a lot of bullying now is you know, online, and is focused on like, let's just insult the shit out of everybody and make them feel like shit.
Oh, 100%.
You know, and it's all in an effort to make people feel better about themselves.
Yeah.
And some people, unfortunately, feel better about themselves by making other people feel worse.
But I think there's something to be said that I don't think it's really a lasting feeling better. I think
it is. It's very ephemeral.
Yes, exactly. Good word.
So another thing I actually want to talk about is inner strength, I guess, and that is I would classify inner strength as the ability to know to varying degrees who you are and to accept yourself for who you are, you know, and whatever happens to you, and like that drive to keep going and fighting and doing what you know to be right.
Sure.
I'd say that's inner strength, you know.
Totally.
And you can use the word will, or you can use the word you know, drive, or whatever that is that you choose. But,
totally. I think it's also very related to something called self-efficacy.
Yes.
Which, for those if you don't know what that means, basically that's just the belief that you can do something and that you can do it well.
Right. So, an inner strength, like, I want to specify, if you're feeling down on yourself, or you're feeling like the world's just beating up on you, it's not because you're weak internally. It's it's because you're just down. So feeling down on yourself is not a sign that you're not strong. It's just a sign that something's not going right in your life. And what that strength is the ability to pull yourself out of that and say, no, I am not worthless. I'm not a total piece of shit. I'm me. You know, and everybody has failings and everybody fucks up. But also, hand in hand, yin and yang, everybody has the ability to come back from whatever the fuck ups may be. You know? And I think that's really important to remember. So I think inner strength is the ability to be able to tell yourself, like, I can come back.
The ability to sort of accept failure as just another part of life.
Accept what comes. You know, because not everything that beats you down is your fault.
Totally.
You know, like a family member dies, or... Get the fuck out of my bed. A family member dies, or... You know, something bad happens, like, you know, you something that happens that's out of your control. You know, like maybe you crashed your new car that somebody just bought for you and you feel like a total piece of crap, but maybe it's not your fault. You know, or you lose this really special thing, like maybe your grandparents left you an heirloom and then passed away, and then you lost it. You know, like it's not the end of the world.
Right, totally.
You know?
And the ability to sort of just differentiate between like those two ways of thinking, and like differentiate between what is your fault and what isn't. I think is another important part too.
Right, and it's all about this thing happened. It sucked. It's time to move forward.
Exactly.
You know.
Totally.
And yeah, you take your time moving forward or whatever. It's just, you know, eventually you gotta be able to pull yourself out of that place and say it's time to move forward. You know, life happens.
Yo, I'm composting.
Nice.
This is so cool.
Wow, you're gonna get a piece of dirt.
Dude, can I compost? I can compost bread. Dude, I'm throwing away our only source of food. Oh, dude, I got a bone meal. This was so useful. Wait, ready? Wait, come here, Griffin. Come here. Ready? Oh, worth it. Oh, no, please. No, God, no.
I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Please, no.
You composted bread for fucking bone meal.
Block clutch.
Ryan, I'm better at parkour than you are.
Shut up. No. Don't hurt me. I love you.
No, you don't.
I'll support you.
No, you won't.
I will. I do. Why are you still chasing me?
Because fuck you. Fuck! Okay, I fell in water. I'm done.
Good.
I don't know, it was really important. I don't even know where I started.
We sort of went down a little bit of a rabbit hole there. I think that's
okay. That's the point of this.
Exactly. I mean, and especially mental health as a topic, it's sort of a topic that is easy to go down a rabbit hole with, you know?
Yeah.
And that's a good thing. Like, it's, you know, the more conversations we have about it, the you know, maybe the bigger impact these conversations eventually will have, right?
Maybe next episode we just need to dick around and show our friend dynamic.
Yeah. Do something a little bit less heavy.
Not even talk about anything, just play the game and call each other retards.
Sure, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Alright. Join us next time then. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this conversation about mental health and psychology from both a I guess I would say victim or personal experience standpoint, and also from an academic standpoint. I actually had a really good time this episode.
We did not get much done.
We got 0 things done. What are you talking about?
We found a village, thank you very much.
Well, I found a village.
And I got a stone sword again. Well, technically I found the village without your help, so...
Okay, so fair enough. We both found the village. And I got a couple of puppies.
I serve the Soviet Union. Soviet.
He's a red! Get him!
Bitch, fucking try me. Oh, he's trying me. And he's winning.
I have full iron armor. You have no chance.
You underestimate my power. Back in the day, I could have taken you.
Well, yeah, I was shit back in the day. I was done chasing you. What are you doing?
I'm not done chasing you! Ha ha! You can have all your shit now.
Alright. So, next time on the PodCrafters, we find out why Griffin is such an asshole.
That's my favorite episode.
Actually, you know what? I don't know if we'll ever be able to find that out. People have been trying for years.
No.
What?
Because I was raised that way.
Ah, is that a parent joke?
Apparently.
We're ending the episode now.
Yep.
Bye bye.